this computer. Okay. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here today. My name is Saul, and I'll be your moderator for this focus group. Our purpose today is to gather your thoughts and opinions on how we can remind customers why they love Yeti and how we can win back market share for our competitors like Stanley. Your feedback is incredibly valuable, and it will help us improve and better meet the needs of the Yeti consumers. There are a few ground rules before we get started. So just we ask that you please be quiet in a very quiet setting and just silence your mobile phones, and we all kind of just tune in here. Just to listen respectfully without interrupting. Uh, Stay for the entire meeting if you can, please, and be aware that this meeting is being recorded for reference purpose. So we thank you in advance for sharing. Remember, there are no right or wrong answers, just your honest opinions. And to break things off, we're gonna just do like a little icebreaker activity. Make sure everybody's comfortable. Just share a little bit about yourself, and we'll go from there. So my name is Saul. I'm a moderator here at Yeti. I like to go on hikes. I like to hang out with my dog a lot. I'll play video games whenever I do get the chance. I'm a bartender and a server. Um, my major is advertising and a minor in business administration. Currently trying to get into tech sales. And yeah, who wants to go next?
I'll go. My name is Shane Stewart, 23 years old from South Padre Island. Hobbies, grew up surfing. I have a Dalmatian too. I like spending a lot of time with her. Um, Currently living in Austin. I work with a marketing company. My job's fully remote. That's why y'all saw the weird background in the beginning, just to make it look a little more professional. But yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Shane. Who's up next?
I'll go next. My name's Anthony. I'm from Pflugerville, Texas. A cool fact, I'm on the Texas State Tennis Club team, so I go out and play like competitively. It's kind of fun, but yeah,
Props to you, man. Tennis is actually really, really hard. You need
you should
like a
get
lot
into
of
it. Pretty fun.
conditioning. No, there's no way, bro. All right, who's next? Thank you, Anthony.
I'll go. My name's Bailey. I am from Houston. I'm going to be a junior at Texas Tech. My major is psychology, and I also have a Dalmatian, but he is a boy. His name is Red, and he is a crazy, crazy dog.
Oh my God, that is actually so exciting. Shay and I both have Dalmatians too, so that's
Yeah.
actually awesome. How heavy is he, by the way? How big is he? Like, do you know?
He was a little chunky,
Yeah,
but he's lost some weight, so he's kind of shorter than most
yeah,
Dalmatians.
yeah.
So he's not like a normal looking Dalmatian.
There are some that are like massive, and then like there are a bunch that are like kind of smaller. Mine's on the smaller side too.
Hmm.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Bailey. I think it's Amina's turn.
All right. My name is Amina Menesi. I'm born and raised in Houston. Recently graduated from U of H with a psychology degree with a minor in legal studies. Currently working with an insurance agency and working on a real estate license.
That is awesome. That is so cool. That real estate license is nice. Have you seen all those TikToks about, people use like they're just promoting it so differently now, where they do speed tours or all these different type of creative tours on TikTok and they get all these views. It's insane. And I'm assuming
I,
they get quick sales off of it too.
I've been seeing some dude that's been memeing a lot recently with his showings. I'm like, I wonder if this guy is making bank or not.
I
But
don't know. I can't
maybe I'll
tell.
give it a try.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can't lose none, right? So I believe that's everybody, right? I think so. Okay, perfect. We're gonna start with those questions now. The first questions, and we could do the same order too. It'll be Shane, Anthony, Bailey, and then Amina. So what three words come to mind when you think about the brand Yeti and why? Shane.
Outdoors, quality, expensive.
Are you supposed to explain why too?
Oh, yeah, you were
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
explain why.
please. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, please.
yeah,
Sorry.
my bad. Sorry, zoned
No, you're
out.
good. So outdoors,
Uh,
why, brother?
Yeti markets, like if you look at any of their ads, it's always someone camping or stuff like that. Like it's marketed primarily to people who go hiking outdoors, and quality is amazing. Everyone knows it's why it's so expensive. But Like everything Yeti that I've ever bought, I still have, and it lasts and it still works. It hasn't broken down, so it's worth it. But you know, I think if you get like a cooler backpack, it's like what 300 fits like
Yeah. Yeah.
like 20 drinks in it, but it works. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's all for like outdoors type stuff.
So everything you see usually when ads, it's always people doing outdoorsy stuff. Not usually, it's usually just outdoors things.
Yeah, hiking, camping, any of that stuff.
Okay. And then would you say the expensive part, would you say it's worth it for that quality?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Okay.
I've like I said, everything I've ever bought that's Yeti, even some of it's 5 years old, it works perfectly.
Yeah.
Like I've never
Yeah.
had a problem, and that's probably why I don't think Yeti has a ton of new like market share. Like I think they've basically been marketing to the same people for the past
Mhm.
few years, but their lifetime value of the customer, their LTV, is extremely long because once a person buys, people usually stick to what they like and brands they trust. So once you get one Yeti and it works really well, the next time you need something, whether it's like even if you buy a Yeti mug and then you want an ice chest, you're like, well, I know my Yeti mugs works perfectly. I know if I buy the Yeti ice chest, it's gonna last me a long time.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thank you. Anthony?
First one I would say outside because you primarily use like these kind of items outside. Then I
Hmm.
say cold because I feel like most items they have like are to keep stuff cold and stuff.
Hmm.
And then my next one would be like sturdy probably just because it's like really well made and like the quality of the product is pretty good.
Cool. All right, Bailey.
I'd say original, reliable, and also outdoorsy.
Hmm.
I feel like this could be so wrong, but this is just how I remember it. Like Yeti being
Hmm.
kind of the first big company that
Yeah.
had like all the coolers and tumblers and everything.
They're
And those
like
were
the
like the first
OGs.
ones. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think everyone kind of copied off of them in a way.
Hmm.
And I always end up just going back to my Yeti that I get from gifts. Like a graduation gift I got was a Yeti cup and a cooler. And like I just find myself going back to it. And the outdoorsy, I mean, I went camping growing up and we only ever had Yeti coolers. And like that's all like, let's go grab the Yeti to fill up
Yeah.
with ice for our food.
It's kind of
And
catchy when
then
you say, let's go get the Yeti. Like, let's go get this
yeah,
Yeti. Or, yeah.
yeah. And then reliable, just like it's always been around. And instead of like some of the newer companies, it's like people have to test it out, see if the ice will stay for a certain amount of time or if it'll stay
Hmm.
hot, whatever. But it's like Yeti's been around for so long, you can trust it because it's globally known.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Amina, what you got for us?
I have also outdoors. I feel like everything
Hmm.
in common comes with the brand.
Hmm.
Um, I had family and original, which I have in common with Bailey there. Outdoors, obviously, everyone's got that for the same reason. Anytime you see a Yeti cooler, a Yeti bottle, whatever, usually it's outdoors, or on a hike or something like that.
Hmm.
Keeping things cool. Family, I myself don't own a Yeti cooler or a bottle or anything like that. Um,
Absolutely nothing. Zero.
no,
Not even a little koozie.
not that I have gotten. Like I might have
Yeah.
one or two in the kitchen, but I myself have never gotten it because
Yeah.
because I just don't drink water, which is bad.
Yeah.
Um, but point is, I show up places and a Yeti cooler is there, whether it's
Yeah.
at the park, at a family member's house, the backyard, it's always there. It's always there in family events, friend events, you know.
Hmm.
And then original, as Bailey said, I always prefer to kind of take the original kind of brand over what's trending. For example, the Stanley
Yeah.
Cup, the really overpriced alternative that everyone's going for.
Uh-huh.
So although Shane said that it might have been more expensive, like I said, I don't own any of the products, but are they more expensive than Stanley's? Because I would imagine that they wouldn't be.
Yetis
Um,
are
Roughly the
definitely
same.
more. Yeah, they're roughly the same. When you talk about like the cups are probably the same. When you talk about the coolers, I think the
Yes.
Yeti coolies are extremely expensive compared to like, I don't even know if Stanley has coolers, but like Arctic or every other competitor. I mean, the Yeti
You,
coolers are like $500, they're expensive. Yeah. But the
And
cups,
we don't have
I
them.
mean, yeah, no, all the cups are, they probably range from like 40 to like 60 probably. So, yeah. But yeah, pretty expensive. But when you come to think about it, I think most of them are made out of probably the same materials. They're all reliable and sturdy. But how Bailey mentioned, they've been around for so long, and how you mentioned everywhere you go, somebody has one. So and they're the OGs. And Yeti, just the Yeti itself, that name, I feel like it's kind of catchy. It's like, oh yeah, let me go get my Yeti, or go get the Yeti from the back. It's just catchy. It's like, oh yeah, go get my Stanley. That doesn't sound very outdoorsy to me personally, but but we'll go to the next question though. Shane, how would you describe Yeti to someone who isn't familiar with the brand? Like Amina, she's unfamiliar. What would you describe to her? You met her, you're like, Amina, let me just tell you about Yeti real quick.
Yeti is the highest quality, most established company for any type of insulated cup to keep things cold, hot, to go outside. Like their ice chest, the ice will not melt. It'll stay cold for like 2 days, if not longer. They've branched out a lot. They have a lot of different products, but they're all like relatively similar. Like they even have dog bowls now. They're like $50 Yeti dog bowls. I need to, but they're just like the most established, reputable company. And like Saul was saying, the name Yeti is what Yetis aren't they like the snowman? Like they're like
hmm
supposed to be up there in like the cold and stuff.
Yeah.
The whole premise is like
Mhm.
if you put anything in there, it stays. I used to put hot coffee in my Yeti cup in the morning and it would be burning hot for like 8 hours still. They last. They really like they work almost too well. They're
Thank you.
super reliable.
Okay, let's see. Anthony?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. How would you describe Yeti to someone who isn't familiar with the brand?
I would say I'm not as familiar as with Yeti
Uh-huh.
because I haven't bought one, but to
Yeah.
describe it, I would say just a good, reliable source to have cooling that to put any like liquid in. So
hmm
like you could have it either really cold or really hot for the future for it. Like better than any other product, I would say.
Cool. Thank you. Bailey?
I kind of would agree exactly with what Shane said, but of course, being a girl, I like things that can kind of be cute and you can personalize any
Yeah.
I
Yeti
like
cup.
things that are cute.
Okay, everyone likes things that are cute.
Everyone likes things that are cute.
Um, and I got a cup that has my name on it in cursive, and another one that has the masked rider for Texas Tech engraved
hmm
into it. And I
hmm
think that's just really, I'm not sure if other brands do that. I haven't seen other brands do it.
hmm
But it's like I think you can do it complimentary or like something like that, or when you order from Yeti. And I think that's just like a really cool thing because you can just make it your own almost.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like your own Yeti. Nobody else can have
Hmm.
the Yeti that you just like created.
Yeah.
Nice. Amina, I know you're not much familiar, but I mean, just give it your best shot, like I said.
I've
So
got the
you're good.
concept of the thing. It's
Yeah.
I would say ever need to keep meat or coffee or anything cold or warm or boiling hot, like Shane said, for a very long amount of time,
hmm
get yourself a Yeti cooler or a cup. It's a very convenient thing to have around. Personally, I just mooch off of anyone else that has one at the social events, but
Yeah.
I think everyone needs to have one eventually if you're going to be planning on, hosting parties or even something as regular as having a cup of coffee in the morning that will last you till lunch.
Mhm. Okay. Great. Thank you so much. All right. Next question, Shane.
Wait,
What
can
fact?
we just
Oh,
slow
what's
down a
up?
little bit? I'm trying to catch up on the
Oh, yeah,
notes.
you're good, bro. My bad. Yeah,
Just a
just let
quick
me
beat.
know. No, 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 you're good, bro. My bad. Um, let's see here. But yeah, I think they started I know there's a certain point where Yeti was selling their cups like they usually do, and people, I think outside of the company, they would buy the cups and they would start customizing, and then they'd sell it like on Facebook or something on Marketplace. And then
Mm,
recently, I went on Yeti to start like checking them out again, and they just started customizing. Like they allow customization for your own cup, where I think before it was real strict, like they only had specific colorways and all this stuff. But now they're like putting all these seasonal colors, and now you can customize it, like you said. So that's good for them. I'm not sure if Stanley does it or all those other places, but I haven't really checked. Um, but yeah,
All right,
I
I'm
think it'd
good to
be
go.
really cool if you can do like designs on your cup, like not just names, but like these cool prints all over your cup and really just customize it. That'd be sick. All right. Um, Shane, where am I? Here. What factors make you loyal to a certain brand? Is it the brand image? Is it their customer service? Or is it the product quality? Which one and why?
Product quality for sure. I mean, with Yeti, I've never had to talk to customer service. It's not like a service you buy, you just buy the product. Um, Brand quality, like it's cool, but the only reason that they've been able to establish such a credible brand name and like reputable company is because of the product quality. Like product or the brand name can't exist without the quality. And like I said, I think most people, once you find something you like, you tend to stick to it. Once you go to one restaurant that you absolutely love, you're probably going to keep going back to that restaurant pretty often because you know you like it. Once you get something that works, like if you buy a bunch of different coolers and stuff and they just don't work as well, and then you maybe spend a little more and you get a Yeti, but you've had it for 5 years and it never breaks, nothing messes it up, it always works. You're going to
Mhm.
be a repeat customer because you know their stuff works. So product quality.
Thank you. Anthony, let me know if you need me to repeat the question, brother.
no, I'm good. For me, it would also be product quality because like I would rather care about the products like being like reliable and good rather than like the product being ultra popular like across like everyone. So I'd rather it be good for me and reliable so I could keep using it over and over again and it's like worth the price rather than just popular to be popular.
Yeah, like buying something that works for you long term and not just buying something for it because
Like
it's
a
trending.
trend or something. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Bailey.
I'd say now probably the product quality because I definitely was one to hop on like the Stanley trend and the Owala trend and like all the crazy water bottles, but like none of them like they work if it's a water bottle,
Yeah,
but anytime I use my Yeti again, it works better and
yeah,
it's more durable also because I will admit I drop my water bottles a good amount and like they don't get destroyed either. And
yeah.
so I think the product quality for sure.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Amina.
I'll switch it up and say cost. As someone
Mm-hmm,
that's been, in the whole college student budget for the last 3 or 4 years, which I'm
mm-hmm,
sure most of you guys can relate to,
mm-hmm,
cost is a big deal. And when it comes to going with something that's trending and pretty overpriced, that does the same thing as another brand that's been around for so much longer,
mm-hmm,
cost is really the biggest factor that'll steer me away from whatever's trending and you maybe back to a Yeti.
mm-hmm.
Um, Also, just as what you guys said with quality, but cost would definitely be something that goes hand in hand there.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. All right, Tanner, how you doing, brother?
Uh, good. Just like 15 seconds, I'll be ready to move on.
Sounds good, man. I wonder I wonder why it's so expensive. Like, I wonder if, they just want like more profit or all the materials that they do use and what it costs to make it, like it's actually that expensive that to make a profit, they have to sell it for like, I mean, especially the coolers. I mean, the coolers are ridiculously expensive, like 500 or something. You can go to Walmart, Target, get like an Arctic cooler and they're like, I don't know, 50% less than that. But and relatively, I'm assuming they're made out of the same material. Maybe there's a few differences, but yeah, it's interesting. What if somebody did make just an insulated cup, does the same thing, but it's way cheaper?
Or tick. Oh, not to talk
Yeah,
about the
yeah, we're
competition,
gonna
but that's literally what they did. Because Yeti's cost comes from their advertising
Mhm.
and partially their manufacturer, because they've made the specific decision to still partially manufacture in America, and that's always going to be more expensive than doing it
Yeah,
overseas.
outside.
They do
Yeah.
some, or they do a lot off like overseas, but some of it is still like done in America, and that's just going to come with more a higher cost in general.
And some people might like that, the fact that it's done in America, like go
Especially
America.
Yeti's fan base,
Yeah.
they would appreciate that. I found an article. It was like from some website that was like, "Is it America made?" And it's basically it looked like a site where people would go to check if their product is like an American product. And
Wow.
they were saying like Yeti kind of is an American product, but they also outsource. So they were like showing how you can tell if a Yeti's made in America or not.
You think Yeti's popular overseas?
It's a
I've
good
never been.
question.
Yes, I've never
I know
been, so
they're
I don't know.
trying to make themselves a global brand. So
Yeah, interesting.
I
All right.
also don't think there are many cultures other than American cultures that, that make
It's a
cookout,
cold beer.
grilling, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. The cold beer that
Yeah.
important. So yeah, a made in America sticker getting slapped onto the Yeti will will do a lot.
Yeah. All right. Shane. Let's see, where are we? Okay. Have you ever considered switching to a different brand or competitor? Why? When it comes to insulated cups or coolers?
And like I've bought other ones if like because Yeti there aren't Yeti stores really. You have to like only certain places have them. So if I need something, like I've had it before where like I need an ice chest on the spot. I'm going to the beach and I need to, put cold beer in, and I'll buy a random off-brand one for the day. But like
Mhm.
if I have the choice, not really. I've never really switched up. Like if I
You've
can,
only, yeah,
if I can get a Yeti, if I need something, I'd much rather have that. Like
okay.
if
You
I have
only
the,
switched, yeah, you only switched over due to convenience because there's no Yeti stores, essentially.
I wouldn't even say I switched over just if I need more, like or like
Yeah,
you know. Mhm.
just temporary. Yeah, just a quick
Yeah.
little buy. All
Mhm.
right. Anthony?
I would have to agree with what Shane said. Like, I would just switch over because of like cost or just because it's more available or like probably just because of cost and like because Yeti is expensive but it is well made. So
Cool. Bailey?
I'd say yeah. Because at least from what I know, my sister got a Yeti tumbler that looked like the Stanley whenever they were really popular, and it
Hmm.
wasn't anything like it because I really liked the handle that it had on the Stanley and like the way the cup was. And
Uh-huh.
so I just liked the way it looked more, but I think now they've come out with a different one. But I definitely just like the way other cups looked. They've just looked a little more modern and aesthetically pleasing. So I
Okay.
definitely did switch over for that.
Okay. Cool. Amina?
Yeah. Um, like I said, I don't have my own, but I am a creature of habit and convenience. But if I have, a cup that's or an ice chest that's been sitting in the shed for the last 5 years, it still works just as well as it did the day I bought it.
Hmm.
There's not really going to be a reason for me to switch. Um, so no, I'm not the type of person to dip on a brand unless like what Shane said, it's a very last minute thing and I just need something to make do. But in that case, I would just get something temporary and go back to my Yeti cooler.
Okay. Cool. All right. Let's do this next one here. Tanner, we good?
Yeah, just finishing up this sentence.
Cool. All right, Shane. How do Yeti's advertisements compare to those of a competitors like Stanley?
I think it's hard to compare them because they target two completely different people. Like Yeti targets campers, outdoors, um, patriots. You could even say the fact that it's American made. Like people will love that. I got fired up a little bit when he told me it was American made. I was like, yeah, I want to go buy some more. uh, like they market to majority guys most of the time, whereas Stanley has taken over like the complete other share. And what they did was really smart. They, I don't walk around daily going shopping or at the mall just walking around with a Yeti cup. I only use it when I feel like I need it. And Stan Lee made it trendy. They targeted more female audience and made it look cuter, made it a trend where girls will use it all the time now. Like you go to the gym and instead of just having regular water bottles or anything, a lot of girls will have like their Stan Lee cups. And
Kilo stem.
it's like a different environment. Girls will use it indoors, shop, like they can use it all. Stanley made it to where they can use it all the time for whatever activity. Whereas I only bust out a Yeti cooler if like we're grilling, we're going to, the river, like something that we're actually doing. And so I think they both advertise really well. It's just different demographics. Like,
Okay.
I don't think Stanley's really taking anything away from Yeti in terms of its like core base. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I don't think Yeti's really, I mean, Stanley's the one that has to compete with Yeti, I think, not the other way around, like to really establish itself because it has been around a while, but
Hmm.
like it's only recently popped off. But I think what they're doing is smart. I've never bought one, but I've never had like the need to buy one.
Hmm.
And if I did, I'd probably still buy Yeti because I know
You don't
it.
want a cute Stanley Cup?
Can I customize it?
Anthony?
Yeah, I would say for me, when I think of like Yeti, I think of them targeting like outdoors, like again, like tubing, anything where you would just want to have like some like soda or like some water bottles somewhere where like it's not widely available, so you just like need it like outside. And then mostly Stanleys that you see it in college classrooms, basically, mostly.
Mhm.
So just like targeting college students or like anywhere on the go, really. Not like they're like completely different, like in where they're targeting. So
Bailey?
I'd say honestly, I've only really seen Yeti like their official pages do marketing. I've never seen a Stanley like ad ever or a commercial because like I see Yeti commercials and all that. And I don't know if that's kind of on purpose and like what Shane was saying, trying to lean into a different demographic. But like I think how I got influenced to try Stanley or different cups was honestly just seeing it on TikTok and also like in college classrooms. I'm like, oh, what is this cup that everyone's carrying now? But I think it's just interesting how Yeti actually I only see them promoting. I don't see any other water bottle company or ice chest company doing that.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Amina.
Yeah, so initially my thoughts were exactly basically what Bailey said. A lot of Yeti's marketing and advertisement is commonly like internally made, right? So they're like advertisements on TV, things that you'll see on your phone, but it's from Yeti. In comparison, Stanley is all, they either pay influencers or, it's there somewhere. You'll see the hashtag ad on the bottom of that TikTok. It's like y'all said, it's made for different demographics. And I think that the people that buy Yeti products will appreciate that they don't advertise through college students or things like that. They see it as, a serious brand made for serious outdoor activities. Meanwhile, Stanley is, they don't have that variety. It's here's your cup, get your Starbucks and go to class. So yeah, I think that their advertising is completely different and for very specific reasons.
That's a good answer. I like that Yeti is like serious, it's serious activity. I like that. That's true. Okay, let's see here. Shane. Oh, I'm sorry. Tanner, how we doing, brother? You good?
Just a minute.
You're good, man. Of course. Yeah, I like that comparison though. Yeti's serious, serious activity, serious brand, serious price. It's reliable.
Yeti's demographics usually older too. Like
Yeah,
I said, it is more expensive. They're not really targeting college kids. They're targeting people who already have jobs that have like their plans
yeah,
for the week. They know what they can afford it and they know what they want. Whereas Stanley does target much younger demographic.
yeah. I think there isn't a
Amina,
lot
can
of
I
young
ask
people.
you so I remember because we're talking about like, oh, Yeti's for serious activity. What did you say about Stanley in comparison to that?
That meanwhile, Yeti caters to a serious audience that wouldn't appreciate the advertising being catered to a younger audience. Stanley will do exactly that. They cater to an audience that doesn't need a cup for serious activities. They're going to go pick up their coffee, go to class. It's a younger audience. They're not doing as serious work. Um, they're an audience that will go buy something because it's trending on TikTok or on Instagram or whatever. They're not looking for advertising that like even visually is showing hiking, camping, something in an RV. Um, does that answer it, or did I just make it
Yes, I just
harder?
needed more. I just because I obviously heard the Yeti's for serious activity. I just wanted to get the full picture of it with Stanley and the perspective. And that was perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, like a younger, more social media focused.
Unserious crowd, really. Yeah, like it's not that serious. It's not that
That's
deep.
what I put. I said I put they're younger, they aren't as serious.
Yeah, more casual.
Yeah, which is I mean, it makes
Makes
sense.
sense. Yeah, it makes sense. I was about to say. Okay, Shane, if you had to choose to follow Yeti or Stanley on Instagram, who would you choose and why? I like this
Yeti, dude,
question.
their content's gonna be awesome. Like it's probably gonna be like athletes doing stuff, like campers sitting next to bears. Like it's gonna be like cool stuff to look at.
Just
Where
American stuff.
Stanley, like I have nothing against like the cups. I had I don't need one. I think like their targeting is probably going to be more like paid affiliates or influencers who have like a link 10% off or if you use my code, and like it's probably just going to be them talking about it like sitting on their with their computer on their Twitch stream drinking it in like an air conditioned room talking about how nice and refreshing it is. Like it's not going to be as fun to watch. Like I want to see some like, I want to see like a truck going like up the mountains, like through the trees. Something that can like I can drink a beer to. You know what I mean? And kind of be like, yeah, like
Yeah, good
that's
answer.
that's
Anthony, who would you follow?
I would say for me, I'd probably follow Stanley, just because like for my day-to-day life, like I just see Stanley's way more often. So if I keep seeing something like redundant, like over like college classes or just seeing like in the wild, then I'm just gonna more likely follow that brand just because it's just like in my face.
Cool. Bailey?
Honestly, probably neither. Um, just because I don't really, sorry, don't care to look at that kind of Instagram. Um, that's like I'm like, okay, cool, it's a cup. I could see it anywhere I want, and like I don't need to see the special effects that Yeti could use of it, like trying to look all cool or like Stanley being all trendy. Like I'm just like, okay.
Cool, cool. Amina?
I would follow Yeti. I'm someone that really does appreciate kind of like the quality and the production that advertising puts in nowadays, like how everyone will sit down and watch all the um football advertisements and stuff during halftime for the Super Bowl. Sorry, you can tell I'm not into sports. But it's something I definitely appreciate, and I feel like Yeti will have that attention to detail. Meanwhile, as Shane said, Stanley would just pay an influencer to hold it up during a "Get Ready with Me" video. Um, so yeah, I think that Yeti has a lot more to offer than Stanley does when it comes to advertising on social media.
That was so good. A get ready with me video. You see those often. That is funny. Okay. All right. I think we are at our last question before I'm going to show you guys some ads and then we'll talk about them and then
Can we
we'll
hold
wrap
off
it
just
up
for a minute,
here.
please?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let me know, of course. That's funny. Get ready with me. Got a big old Yeti or Stanley.
Um, Anthony, could I have you re-answer the question? I missed your um what you had to say in terms of
Yeah,
choosing Yeti or Stanley to follow on Instagram.
I said would choose Stanley for probably the reason that it's just more in my day-to-day life. Like I see Stanley, like it's in my face, like as a college student, especially on a college budget too. Like I'm just more widely like around it, and I don't see Yeti as much often. So
Perfect.
Mm,
You guys have any plans today?
Work.
Work? Same. I'm going at 5.
I'm going to like a housewarming party for some friends that just moved in a bit. I think I don't know what to do before then though. Probably just hang out at the pool.
Mhm.
I wish I could say the pool, but we've got some sketchy weather here in Houston.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
How's it
As
looking
always,
out there?
Horrible.
it's
Like,
been
is it?
flooding like crazy recently. It like just
Oh, that
on and off.
sucks.
So you'll think that you'll catch a break and then it'll flood again like in
Mhm.
2 hours. So
Damn, that sucks.
yeah,
yeah,
I'm chilling at
like a
home today.
personal pool,
Get a little
What
jet
do you
ski
say,
going out
Anthony?
there.
like a personal pool.
Well, more like a personal muddy pond.
Yeah, it's overcast over here in Austin, so it's not raining, but definitely don't have any personal pools or muddy ponds in the back there.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, right?
I was up there last weekend. I went to the Barker Springs, is that it? Hamilton something? No, I think I'm wrong.
Barton Springs.
Barton Springs. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was
no,
nice.
you went to Barton Springs or Barton Creek.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah,
Cold.
water's cold there, but yeah, water's
Water's
so
super
cold.
fucking cold there.
Yeah. I don't know how people go in the mornings and or at night and they like do like a plunge. It's like no, bro. Like no.
Cold plunge.
Yeah. I'd rather be in my bed. A little warm plunge into my shower. All right, Tanner, how we doing, brother?
Looking good.
All right. Okay. Shane, how do you think Yeti can align with current trends?
I mean, I think the only way they could do it, well, like, what do you mean, like Stan Lee, like that trend?
No. How can, well, yeah, so I guess some trends would be some of the things we talked about was, having a cup. Like essentially, yeah, Stanley. They have a cup,
I
much less unserious audience. Whatever
I
you
don't.
think,
I
whatever
think
trend
that
you think.
if Yeti wanted to do it, I'm pretty sure they could. Their team is massive. They have a lot of money, and they would probably just have to break into like social media as well. But at the same time, I don't think they do that because that's not their customer base. Like that's not who they're after. And some customers, like, if you have like that 40-year-old dad that drinks like natty lights on the weekend while grilling out and he starts seeing Yeti all over, like, 20-year-old streamers like Instagram, he's not going to want to be a customer anymore. It loses, I think it'd be a bad move. I think they would lose a lot of their customer base by trying to go after like all the trends.
So without considering any like losses, if they did want to go into a new market, this is just, we're exploring. How would you think Yeti, how would they do that with the new trends? How would you think Yeti should do it, or how would do it? Just getting a new audience with any trend you think is going on right now. How do you think they should do it?
Probably just be quicker with it as soon as something pops up, film an ad, release it, like make something catchy. I don't really see them going into social media, but if they can just predict like kind of trends before they happen or keep an eye on, that's
So
something like
Yeti, yeah. So
that's
more
what
just social media.
it's exactly what Ryan Reynolds did when he like released Mint Mobile. Anytime there was any trend that happened within like 24 hours, he would have filmed an advertisement, not like an Instagram influencer, but like filmed an actual advertisement that like shows the trend and release it through paid ads across like different platforms. And he would get a lot. I think he sold Mint Mobile for like almost like 800 million or something. But
Okay,
I think they would have to just stay on top of it. But I don't think
cool.
they break social media the way Stan Lee is.
Yeah, it'd be very awkward.
Mhm.
Okay. Anthony, how do you think Yeti can align with today's current trends?
I would say just probably market towards a younger and like more affordable audience because like I feel like right now Yeti is like your dad has a cooler like in the garage or something, and that's mostly where people have them. I don't really see it like more widely available. So like if they tend to go like to a trend to like a younger crowd, might become more popular. I don't know. That would be a trend I could see.
Like more affordable options, we'd see
Yeah,
them
more
more often.
affordable.
And
Yeah.
yeah, cool. Bailey?
I would say probably like, if you know how some companies they break off like, oh, they want to start making an athletic wear line or
Yeah.
something, and but it's the same company, just kind of a step down or something. Maybe
Hmm.
they could do that for a younger audience. So it's still they have their original audience that they'll keep, and I don't know what they would call it at all, but they could just kind of make almost like a something below it that's cheaper, follows the trends more, more active on social media, and it's just for like a younger audience as well.
Cool. I like that. Amina?
I would probably go into how we spoke earlier about how we weren't sure if Yeti was kind of like a thing overseas or not. I think now that people are working remotely, going to school remotely, I think travel is really a big thing. So I would say, aside from catering to a younger audience in a way that won't make them lose their serious audience, I would maybe say push it to um, just non-American audiences, or maybe make the Made in America label a little bit better, even though I know that some countries might not like that.
Hmm.
Make it the what you visualize when you think of camping, hiking, traveling in a serious manner. Um, I had another thought, but I totally forgot it. Oh, there was a brand that did that was able to break into the American market. It was a backpack called Fjällräven something. It was a Swedish brand, and it basically blew up here in America because it was just trending in Europe.
Is it those
Um,
square backpacks
yes,
with
yes,
little
it's
handle?
yeah,
Those
it's
are
got all these
nice.
like wild, cute colors, and they're very durable. And they
Hmm.
are actually marketed for like either just being cute, but also they're pretty durable for like outdoor activities.
Hmm.
So I think that Yeti would have a really good, just a really good opportunity to do the same thing because it's known to be, a hardcore, legit brand, not like Stanley that's just catered for college students
Yeah.
that aren't going anywhere, just home to school to work.
So Yeti can possibly cater to younger audiences by proving that they can make maybe more affordable options. It could be more aesthetically pleasing, but still maintain that durability.
Yeah, and
more or less, right?
like I said, also the traveling market. You know how expensive those traveling bags are for travel, and they just make their money off of how durable they are and how trendy they are with the pilots. I think the same
Hmm.
thing can happen with the traveling communities, all these influencers that are traveling from here to there. That's a type of influencer that's, it's got a serious visual of traveling without it being kiddie,
Yeah,
um, in a way to say.
cool.
I hope you got
Perfect.
all that, Tanner.
Yeah,
All right.
I think I'm good.
Let's see. I'm gonna have to share this screen here. I gotta show you guys some ads, and then we're gonna talk about them, and then that'll be the last of it, I believe. Let's see here.
I'll go to video, the little arrow right above video, and then go to video settings, and then there will be a button on the left side that says share screen. You're on mute.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so where it says video next to audio at the bottom left, there's a little
Yeah,
arrow right above video. Click it,
yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
then go to video settings.
Uh-huh.
And then on the left side, you'll see like general video, audio, and then share screen on the left side.
I got the share screen. It's on. Let me see. Side by side, full screen will actually maintain code size. When I share directly Zoom room, I share desktop show sharing options. But that's not where I started though, right? I think I started over here, video, share. Okay, I think I got it. Let's see. Share. Can you guys see it?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna play this. I'm not sure if y'all can hear it. Do y'all need to watch that one more time, or are we good with just
I got the gist.
okay,
I'm
cool?
good. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna answer these questions real quick about that one ad. Oh, we gotta show both first. Okay, give me a second. Mm, Now we got this one. All right. Okay. questions here. Let's start off with Shane. Shane, which advertisement did you like better and why?
The Yeti one, it was awesome, dude. Like you had people jumping off cliffs, surfing, hiking, like riding skateboards. Like it was more cinematic, much higher like production quality, and I don't, they're both good ads in that they both fit their brands exactly and like who they're going after. But like the Yeti one was cool. Like it kind of made me want to like, oh, let's go grill out, let's go do something. Whereas Stanley one, like it's perfect for its target audience, but it just wasn't like nothing happened, you know. So I like Yeti.
Cool. Anthony, which one did you like better?
I would say I like the Yeti one better because it like just makes me feel cool to own a Yeti if I did own one. And it just like fits more with what I want to do in my free time.
Bailey?
I'd say Yeti because it's a water bottle or like anything like that commercial, and I felt like Stanley was trying to get emotional with it and get sentimental, and I don't know, it's a water bottle. It's not that deep at
So
all.
you didn't get sentimental at all?
No, I honestly I kind of cringed. And I liked the Yeti because it looked cool and like I love the outdoors. So like be able to see that kind of stuff is like, oh, I want to go do something like that.
Cool. Amina?
Yeah, I would agree. The Yeti commercial was awesome. It gave the viewer a sense of adventure, action, which is what you need for a hardcore bottle like that. Like that's what you're using a bottle or a cooler for. Not, I'll agree. The Yeti cooler, the Yeti advertisement was pretty cool.
Cool. All right, next question. Shane, what audience did those ads attract, respectively?
Yeti attracts anyone who likes outdoor activities. Like they use like probably really good athletes and stuff for some of those, but just anyone who enjoys being outdoors in their free time and doing that stuff would be attracted to that. It makes like Anthony said, like after watching that ad, if you had a Yeti, you'd probably feel kind of cool. Be like, oh yeah. And Stanley is more family oriented, everyday use. They targeted like Bailey said, it got like really sentimental for no reason about a water cup, and it's more just I guess families, younger people. I think the I don't know if I saw a guy in that audience if in that ad. I think it was all girls. So I think it's targeting like families, younger girls, college students, and such.
Cool. Anthony?
Yeah, I would say Yeti is targeting like adventurous people, people who like to go outdoors, people like to do stuff like athletic wise. And I would say Stanley mostly targets like families or just people that just want a cup in general because it looks like that was what the ad was, just like a cup to sip on.
Cool. Bailey?
I'd kind of agree, but also disagree with both of y'all because I'd say in the Yeti, like they were showing camping, and so I'd say it was pretty family almost like oriented almost as well, but not like in the way that the Stanley did it. It was just more of like, oh, you everyone can come together and we all have the Yeti cooler, the Yeti cup, and like do something fun. And then the Stanley, I think it was just kind of I don't really know who it was oriented towards because I feel like a commercial like that, it was like you see commercials like that for like animals, I feel like, and not water bottles. So it was kind of weird to me.
Cool. Amina?
I would say that the Yeti ad was basically for anyone that does anything outdoors, of any age, any occupation, just people that are either doing it all the time, living on, not how was it like living on the move or whatever.
Mm,
Or just someone that's going out to grill, the family, like Bailey said. So it's definitely more diverse than that. I think that the stand that was very interesting advertisement because it just catered to a parent, which is completely different because I've only ever seen it being catered to like other teenagers or college students. But in this case, it was catered to a parent to buy for their college student or teenager. Um, so like that's great. You're advertising to an older audience, but at the end of the day, who's going to be the people walking around with your cup? A college student or a teenager. So I can see what they were doing there. But I think like image wise, once you do go out and you see who's holding these cups, it's not as, it's not as diverse as a Yeti made it out to seem.
Yeah, I agree. I think in that Yeti advertisement, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that last shot, I think it was like a little girl almost snowboarding, right? And it said explore your gifts or use your gifts. So, and then they, like you said, they had one where it was a family getting together right by the beach. They're dragging their Yeti, and it was just really Yeti showing like have a good time, use your gifts. You got a Yeti with you. And as to Stanley, like you guys said, they were trying to use like an emotional connection, almost like gifting it emotionally a cup that's customized to just some. It just we didn't really connect with that, but it looks like to me that everybody here connected with Yeti, and everybody's like, yeah, okay, this made more sense. This felt good, but perfect. All right, Shane, what would you change about Yeti's ad? And what would you change about Stanley's ad?
Stan Lee's, I would probably just, like Amina said, instead of targeting maybe the parents, target like the most of the people who like young college kids, the people who actually use your products. Maybe make it less emotional, like Bailey said, it is a water bottle. Make it feel more cool, like maybe like they could have done an ad of just college kids hanging out with their friends, like drinking out of their Stanley. Anything a little more casual. Um, the Yeti, I don't know, dude. That was a pretty cool ad. I don't think I'd really like. I don't know what I would change. I'd make it maybe a little longer,
Yeah,
show some more sports. Like I want to see some more stuff. But
cool. Do you guys prefer, speaking on that subject, do you guys prefer something longer or shorter? Because, for example, like TikTok, when you're on there, those shorter videos sometimes are way better. You like a longer advertisement or a shorter advertisement?
If it catches my attention, I would say a longer video because if it's like interesting, I want to keep watching it.
It has more time to build that connection too.
Yeah.
Cool. Anybody else care to share?
I agree with what Anthony said.
Okay, cool. And Anthony, what would you change about Yeti's ad, and what would you change about Stanley's?
I would agree with Shane about the Stanley ad, like cater more towards a young audience because that's like what they like build on. Like that's what mostly like who has the Stanley. But I would also say it's like my first time seeing a Stanley ad ever. So I feel like mostly all their ads is just college students already having them and like spreading them around because that's how I usually see them. But for Yeti, I would say like back with what Bailey said, I would say cater more towards like a family audience, like have a longer video of maybe like a camping trip where the dad brings a cooler or something, where it's like it's for the family and it's where like everyone can like pitch in and like have like drinks and stuff. Maybe longer for that and just like also like have that with all the cool stuff they do and all the rad stuff that goes on.
Cool. Bailey?
I'd say for the Yeti, probably not change much, probably just the length of the video and like elaborate, like not elaborate, but show each sport or activity a little bit longer. And the Stanley, kind of like what y'all were saying, show it more towards like college students using it. Or like right now, pickleball is insane. So like show kids walking to play pickleball or even college athletes if you want the younger stick with the younger audience, show college athletes using it because I know a lot of people love all kinds of college athletes and they're like, oh, they're doing this, they're wearing this, they support this brand Adidas and all those different brands. So it's like, oh, I'm a super fan, I'm gonna buy what they buy.
Cool. Amina?
So I saw Stanley's advertisement as kind of like a way to challenge what everyone's saying about them, that all they do is advertise to college students or teenagers, in the way that they're trying to get older buyers, right? So the people that are checking out in their websites are older people, whether it's just moms, dads. So I think that if they are going to go in that direction, then they should maybe flip it, right? So get your normal audience to buy a cup for their parent, for example, because you don't want a childhood little scribble on your cup when you're taking it to college every day, right? So I think that what Bailey said about it being cringe is it speaks volumes, and they need to keep that into account. And then also the Yeti. I mean, like Shane said, that advertisement was just so cool. I would say
Yeah.
make it longer. I would also agree with Anthony and say that maybe they could find a way to make it emotional without it being cringe, the way Stanley did with maybe like maybe a little longer part of that campaign one, or an advertisement catered to just that. But at the same time, keep that tone of adventure and action that they do have, instead of just completely going into the whole emotional tone that doesn't really fit the vibe. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Cool. Those are also, they're all great answers. Thank you guys so much. All right. Well, thank you all for participating in today's focus group. We've gathered some incredibly valuable insights. Before we wrap it up, does anybody have any final thoughts or questions? Yes, no, no.
I'm
Everybody's
straight.
good. All right. Well, we truly appreciate the time and effort you dedicated to this discussion. We will be using your feedback to develop strategies to better align with our customers' needs and preferences. Thank you guys so much. I cannot express how grateful we are for you guys being here on a Saturday morning. You guys helped us out a lot with this project. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I really do. And it was a pleasure meeting everybody here.
Nice
Thank
to
you,
meet
you
you.
too.
Best of
Thank you
luck.
guys so much.
Take it
Likewise.
easy, y'all.
Bye, guys.